Let's have a look into the teacher portal now. So once all the observations are recorded into the teacher app, let's have a look into how do we go about creating learning stories, how do we tag them with the learning outcomes with regards to Tefariki, and how do we go about looking at the kids' learning journals. Start by logging into KidReports. So I'm going to log in as Pinky Teacher. Let's have a look into the observations folder. So as I said, observations will be recorded for each child, whether it's been recorded through an individual or a group activity, including the photos or videos and some notes. So if I go into Caitlin's folder, you can see a really neat timeline of all the journal entries, all the observation entries that have been made for Caitlin by different teachers over a period of time. Okay, so since I had a look at it and I know that yes, this is the one that I would like to focus on for my story, I can simply have a look at the date and the time on which this was recorded, so that it will allow me to collect all those photos when I go under learning stories. So let's start by going under the learning stories section, which is on the left hand side. And I'll simply go under Caitlin's folder, click on new learning story, and here I will be able to go through the pictures I've taken for Caitlin for today. So if there is something that was done and you remember that it was captured in the last week or 2 weeks ago, you can simply select the date range from here at the top. So we can also go 17th and go update activity list. When you do that, all the photos and notes that have been captured, all the observations made between those dates will now be available to you in your learning story editor. So from here, we can quickly start working through our story. I'll start with this story. Caitlin is learning to write. You can also use the table layout feature where you can simply drag a few images and pop them into the table layout. You can also select the background colors, or you can start writing in here straight away. KidReports quick formatting tool allows you to quickly format the text using some of the features that you are already familiar with, like changing of fonts, colors, change of background colors, increasing the text size and things like that. So I can quickly go in here, change my font type, change the color, and you can straight away dive into creating your story. Now, once you have worked on your story, you can go to print preview to see if you are wishing to print it out, how the printout is going to look like. Once you are happy with the story, and again, you can delete some of the pictures from here, because when you delete the pictures of your learning story, the evidence is not deleted permanently. The evidence is still there in form of observations under that child's folder. So if you are trying to focus on a particular thing that you're working on with the child, you feel free to delete the other pictures. Once I worked on my story, I can simply save it as a draft, give it a story name, okay, so I've given it a title and I'm going to save it as a draft. So over a period of time, you will have several learning stories for each child. And whereas for each story, you could individually write the learning outcomes in terms of Tefariki, we thought it would be a really nice way to visualize the learning outcomes, and hence learning roots and shoots has been integrated in KidReports.